Right, good afternoon, all of you. Good. Wow, this is an energetic class. All with hungry for information, knowledge, how you can actually do better in investment. Now, I'm here to touch on this topic, commercial, industrial, real estate investment in Singapore. To have a show of hand, let me have a better feel. Can I just find out in this class who has actually bought or sold any commercial industrial property? It means you have owned or previously owned some commercial industrial properties. Right. Just a couple of you. Okay. Now, so I think good. Most of you are new to this, and I'm quite sure you can learn something from today's in this room. Now, okay, to begin with, all right, just to remind you all, investment carry risk. Now, okay, I mentioned, okay, what is the outlook and pitfall in commercial industrial market? Okay, the way I look at it is good. Why I say good, especially for commercial. Now, why I say commercial is good? Okay, because very simply, on the other hand, okay, which is residential, because if you invest in so-called property in Singapore, there are two major areas. One is commercial or an industrial. One is residential. On the other hand, residential. Okay, residential, I believe the government will still hold on to the cooling measures very tightly. Okay. Right, so because of this, there's no way you can buy residential. Even if you want to buy, how do you buy? Because you got to pay a tax before you buy. How do you make money? Because you have to pay a tax to buy, you got to pay a tax to sell, and prices are dropping. Now, why do I say the government hold on to the cooling measures? Let me explain to you why. Now, first, this is from our Deputy Prime Minister, so you don't believe me, but please believe them. This is the number 2 man in Singapore. Taman say property market stabilizing, but curbs will stay. Now, more. Okay, this is a bit small, but let me point out to you. Taman declared, given the run-up in the prices in the last 4 years, it is too early to start relaxing our measures. Now, okay, more. Right, last year, July, first time, 17 years in real estate, the first time I saw, in 1 month, the government is so serious to tell you one message, one single message. They send 3 bosses to tell you the same message in 1 month. So I know they are, for sure, they are serious about it. MND, Ministry for National Development, they are the boss, they control the property market. They came out last July to say too early to relax property cooling measures. In the same month, MES control what? MND control your property market, MES control your loan. No loan, cannot buy anything. So they control the market too. MES came out to say, okay, oh, sorry, yeah. All right, thank you so much. Let me see. Is the cover around? Yeah. Sorry, oh, the cover is here. Okay, it was dropped out, so I better put back. Okay, right. So MES came out to say also too early to ease property cooling measure. And in that month, the same month, our number 2 man, Deputy Prime Minister, came out also to say in July, 3 times in July. Okay, property price could drop further. You want to buy, you have to buy at your own risk. Now, 3 times in 1 month, 3 bosses came to say the same message. Just in case if Singaporeans are just too stubborn, still don't believe, no lah, I think you'll leave the cooling measures soon. Now, 1 week after July, first week of August the 5th, okay, Minister Call himself now come and tell you premature to leave property cooling measures. Then you ask me, then David, but this is last July. You sure that now they are still having the same direction? I'm very, very sure. Let me show to you. In October, Minister Call, when he was asked an interview about how about the cooling measures, he says, as for the calls to re-examine property cooling measures, he reiterated that this was not the time. This is actually in October. And in October, same month, Taman came out to say, if we do not get a meaningful reversal after each upswing, property prices will run ahead of the growth of the household income over long term, which we should avoid. They are still waiting for a meaningful reversal. Where is it? They haven't seen it. 4 years, property price went up 60%. Last year came down 4%. How can it be meaningful? Now, you sure? David, you sure? Now, this is still not the latest. You sure? I'm very sure they are still wanting the same direction now, because one day before 2005, 30th December, okay, 30th December, 1 day before 2005, Minister Call say, single-digit fall in HDB prices next year means this year a good thing. And, okay, Minister Call also say, good if resale price slide continues. The government is still waiting to see property price coming down this year. How can I leave the cooling measures for you? So what do you buy now? Commercial, right? I always tell people you can buy Cheng Teng. You either buy Ching Tung or buy commercial. What else can you buy, right? If you want to buy property in Singapore, right? Now, class, so now I always say this. Of course, I only have half an hour, so I can only share so much. I have a full 3.5 hour seminar. If you come in, I'll share more. If you follow the government direction in Singapore, you will never lose money. You will always make money in property in Singapore. Okay? Now, this is government direction. Now, so you know, okay, you know they are still going to hold on to the residential managers very strongly. On the other hand, okay, why I already told you the outlook for commercial industry will still be good, and my pick for this year, the star performer, will be offices. Okay, offices. Now I'm going to show you why I think offices will continue to be good this year. Okay, now not I say, don't believe me, believe what the experts say. Now, why is it a good time to invest in offices now? Okay, upbeat on Grade A office market. These are articles. Some are as latest as this month, some are a few months ago. Okay, I compiled them and show it to you. What is the market view of offices today? Okay, Singapore office market fundamentals top in Asia Pac. Okay, we have the best office fundamentals in Asia Pac. Now, the smaller way you can see, the strata office resale market still going strong. The strata office market still going strong. Okay, next, limited office space may boast rents this quarter. Next, supply crunch likely to drive office rent up this year. Grade A office rent hit a 6-year high. We are now having a 6-year high. Okay, prime office rent set to rise by 25% in 5 years. In 5 years. Okay, office segment shines in property scene. Right? More. Landlord calls the shot amid office crunch in CBD. Office revamp in Singapore offers high returns. City centre commercial property still a potent force. 14th floor Samsung Hub sold for 3030 PSN. Now, why I picked Samsung Hub? I'm going to show you what happened in Samsung Hub in the last, I would say maybe in the last half a year to 1 year. Okay. Now, 14th floor sold for 3030 PSF. Then, you have 19th floor sold for 3175. 3030 now is 3175. Then, now is 3225. Okay? Then, now it's 3280. All in Samsung Hub. They are all real figures, not my figures. They are all from the press. Class, can you see how it progressed in a short span of maybe half a year? Now, these are real things that's happening in the commercial market. Of course, this in particular, the office sector. Now, more. Right? Strata office unit, okay. This one, you know about this, they're launching it. Okay. Anson House sold for 172 million. Okay. These are some of the bigger deals, bigger deal in the last couple of months. K-REITs buy MBFC Tower for 1.25 billion. Okay. So these are some of the big ones. Just now, Samsung was just one floor only. This is a bigger one. Okay. Sun Venture buys Straits Trading Block for 450 million. Okay. Another, okay, this is actually sold for 200 million in around near sorry. Something wrong with the slides. Right. Price rental rises recorded for office retail sectors. Okay. Office rent to rise this year. Right. Price of office space fair in 2004. Of course, you will do even better this year. Rent in CBD set to rise amid supply squeeze. Keppel REIT secure full occupancy for most of its office towers. Keppel REIT owning so many office towers in town. They secure full occupancy for most of its office towers. Okay. Let's just show you some of the big deals who are taking up all the offices. The CPG inks 83,000 square feet lease at Westgate Tower. Schroeder, Lloyds Asia, Twitter, all signing up at Capital Green, all a big space. New office space could go as fast as firms seek quality. CBD rent up 14%, strongest growth in Asia Pac. In 2014, Singapore office rent enjoyed the highest climb in the whole Asia Pac. 14%. 14%. Okay. Perennial Let's consider to buy AXA Tower for 1.17B. Right. The government is selling CPF building for 450 million, likely, about this price. Now, the question to ask is, Does the government need money? No, they don't need money. They can sell CPF building last year, this year, next year, anytime. But I heard about it. They are planning to sell this building some time back already. But why they actually time it this year? They can easily sell it next year, 2017, or last year. I'm quite sure they have all the MBAs that's done all the homework. They feel that this year is a good time because it's a good market for offices. Okay, this is, I can't find English, I'll show in Chinese. 办公楼及零售空间租金上扬 means retail space and office space rental are climbing. Now, interesting, let me show you something. Office rent up in 2014. Singapore rental has gone up so much, but okay, we are still among Asia Pac lowest. Okay, we have gone up so much, 14% last year, but we're still one of the lowest in Asia Pac. Indeed, we are only number 7 in the whole Asia Pac. Now, let me show you something even more interesting. Okay, worst costly offices mostly in Asia. Let me read out to you where are the top 10 worst, most costly offices in the world. Okay, maybe, okay, this one is clearer, okay. Number 1, London West End. Number 2, Hong Kong Central. Number 3, Beijing Finance Street. Number 4, Beijing CBD. Number 5, Moscow. Okay, number 6, New Delhi. Number 7, Hong Kong West Kowloon. Number 8, London City. Number 9, Tokyo. Number 10, Shanghai Pudong. Class, when I see this, I tell my people that I know, you better buy up as much offices as possible in Singapore. Why? We are the top 4 international financial center of the world. Hong Kong, New York, no, sorry, London, New York, Hong Kong, and Singapore, the top 4 financial center of the world. Yet our offices are not in the top 10 most costly. It only shows one thing. What is it? We have so much potential. We are one of the 4 most sort of the financial center of the world. But how can our offices not within the top 10 most expensive? It only shows one thing. The writings are on the wall. There are so much potential in the offices market. Don't believe me. Believe the figures, believe the expert. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you now, not just expert reports, articles from the press or whatever. I'm going to show you, okay, if you invest in a commercial property, in particular, I'll use office today, now what are the capital gain you can actually make from those investments? So you know, oh, this is a time that I think I should be looking at offices. So let me show you some of these figures. Now, okay, let me take this building, International Plaza. If you do not know, International Plaza is a building that's almost 50 years old, 40 plus years old. That means the lease is only left with 50 plus years lease, and yet it's so hot cake, it's selling so well. Let me just give you one example. I don't know whether it's too small for people behind, but I'll read out to you. Now, 0914, okay? The buyer bought only for 8 months. I mean, hold on to property only for 8 months. Okay? Class, he actually sold it, he bought for 785,000. Okay, he bought 785,000. You know, in commercial investment in Singapore, your equity is normally 20%. That means your cash down payment is normally 20% because the bank can loan you up to 80%. So for 785,000 you purchase, means you actually only pay about 160,000 cash, right? 20% of 785. When you pay down 160,000 cash, 8 months later he sold for 950,000. He makes 163,000. Means he make 1 time his cash in just 8 months. Correct? His return on equity is 100%, right? Because he only paid 160, because the 80% come from the bank. So I only pay 160,000. 8 months later I sold it, I took back 320, right? 160 is your original cash, 160 is your profit. You make 1 time your cash, 100% of your cash in just 8 months. Now, let me show you just one more. Oh, okay, 0915. Look at it, he only hold on to this property for 1 month. Now, class, all these figures are real because I even show you where I plug all this caveat from. You see, the caveat source are even on the slides. So you know, if you're going to check caveat, you can prove me wrong, I'm going to prove you right. These are all real figures. Now, International Plaza 0915, he only hold on to this property for 1 month. Okay, if you buy property in Singapore, you know, 1 month, you have not even paid your 20%, right? 1 month, you only pay your 1 plus 4, right? Actually, you only pay 5%. For 1 month, you only pay 5%. It was recorded in the caveat that he only bought this for 1 month. Now, he paid 900,000, means he only paid 1 plus 4, 5%. He only paid 45,000 for this office. 45,000 he paid down for a 900,000 office, and 1 month later, he sold it for 1.1 million. He made 200,000 profit on a 50,000 investment. He made only 50,000 cash down payment. But he sold for 1.1, he took 200,000 profit. Class, right? This is your number 3, number 3 in the chart. Okay, more. Okay, let me just go on. Oh, you see, there's a lot of 1 month, 1 month, 3 month. Okay, so there are many in international plaza. And you ask me, but David, maybe last time the developer got see Hong Chui, Feng Chui for IP. There's IP very sellable, right? Correct, right? So I say it's not true. It's not true. I don't know whether they have done that in the last time, but I tell you it's not true. It's not because of Feng Shui. It is because the market is now very hot for commercial. Because I'm going to show you other buildings to prove to you. Now, let me pick one more building. Soho at Central. Okay, this is a newer building. Soho at Central. Now, let me just pick one. Okay, 16 on the list. Those behind, 16, number 16 on the list. Hex 1014, Soho at Central. Okay, he actually bought and hold it for 4 months. Okay, 4 months, he hold it for 4 months. He bought 1.1 million. That means he only paid down 220,000. He paid down 220,000. He sold for 1.45. He made 340,000. He paid only 220,000, 20% down payment. But he can make 340,000 in just 4 months. His return of his equity is 150%. That means I paid down only 220. I take back almost 400,000. Almost 2 times his cash. And in 4 months. And this is not a condo, this is actually an office. And it's in office. Now, if you go down, there are many. They are all coveted because I show you the covered source. And actually, this list, you'll be surprised. All my lists, my International Plaza list and this Soho list, when I ask my staff to compile, I have this condition. I told my staff, those who bought 10 years ago, today sell, sure make tons of money. Those who bought 8 years ago, today sell, also make tons of money. Even if you buy 5 years ago, today sell, also make tons of money. So I said, let's not put all this in the list. Too long, the list will never end. I told them, you please include those who buy and sell within 3 years. You see all the holding period? The holding period are all within 3 years. The maximum is 38 months, or plus minus 3 years. Okay? So you can see, or 40 months, plus minus 3 years. So all this in the list are people who buy and sell within 3 years only. I'm not including those who bought 5 years ago, 8 years ago. Sure make tons of money. And yet the list is more than a page. I asked my staff just cut 1 page because that's how much time I have. Now class, these are real figure. Then you ask me again, but David, they make them good money in offices. But does it mean that maybe in Singapore, only International Plaza and Soho, these two can sell only because these two got Hong Chui? No, that's not true. I'm going to show you across the board, all the offices are selling, or most of it selling like hotcakes. And now I'm going to show you a compile list, no more one by one, a compile list. Okay, the Adelphi, the Plaza, the Peninsula Plaza, High Street, they all make tons of money. Now, let me just show you a very small deal. Maybe I pick a big or small, you make money. Okay, maybe this is good. The Plaza, number 11 on the list. Number 11. Okay, the Plaza. He only hold on to this office for 5 months. He bought 270,000. Now, when you buy 270,000, means your down payment is only 54,000. That means this guy only paid 54,000 for a small office in the Plaza. He sold for 377,000 5 months later. He paid 54,000. He made 108,000. He made 2 times, not 1 time, 2 times his cash in just 5 months. Big to small offices. You can talk about $1 million, you can talk about $3 million, you can talk about even 300,000. They all make money. They all make money, class. Okay, you go down, you see tons of people who make lots of money in the commercial sector, especially the office sector in the last 2 years or so. Why? Because the commercial market is now very good, and my pick for star performer this year are offices. Now, okay. Now the thing is, David, the outlook is good, but is it easy to invest in commercial industrial? Let me talk about a pitfall. Now, it's not difficult. It is not difficult to learn how to invest in commercial industrial investment because basically it's still Singapore. It's something you still can touch and see every day. So it's something that you can understand it very well because you can relate to it. You can see it every day. But the thing is this, okay? There are a lot of pitfalls. One of them, let me just show you one of them. I suggest before you start commercial industrial investment, you please do your homework, learn it before you start. You can be buying and selling condos for 10 years, but I can say this. Maybe the next commercial industrial, when you start investing in it, you probably flatten. You fell down, you flatten. Why? Because commercial industrial, even though not difficult to learn, but they're very different from residential. For example, you've been buying, selling, and your condos for the last 5-10 years, including your HDB. Have you ever paid GST? 7% GST. No, right? David, sell la condo we got GST one. HDB flat we got GST. You're right. But let me tell you this thing. If you buy commercial industrial, if the seller is GST registered, you have to pay a 7% GST. What, David? A lot of money. I agree, it's a lot of money. 1 million is 70,000. If you buy something 3 million, you have to pay 210,000 GST. No? You're not going to a restaurant, no? $300 meal, you need to pay $21. Pay la. You're paying for 3 million means you're paying 210,000, 7% GST. That's a lot of money. Now, class, okay? The good thing is this. Right? I'll share, as I said, I'll share more of this in my full 3.5 hours. I have a free workshop that share with investors how do you make money in commercial industrial, how do you minimize risk, maximize profit. I can invite you to this free workshop later on because I only got half an hour, so I can only cover so much. But I'll try and squeeze as much in as possible in this half an hour. Now, okay, we will share with you in my longer workshop how you can manage this GST. This is a real big pitfall. If you don't handle it, it's a 7%. It's 7%. Now, many buyers do not know how to handle it, so they pay. You must pay, and it's only right to pay. The thing is, if you manage it well, you can claim back the 7% also. Now, the 7% GST for property is a bit different from your GST if you run business. I know many of you run business, you claim back GST. I know. It's a bit different. I have many businessmen who come to my class because they say, David, I know about how to claim my GST for my business, but I don't know about property. So they are businessmen who claim GST on a business, but they still do not know how to handle the property part, so they come in. So please learn about this now. Okay? Because if you don't learn, you end up paying, but you cannot claim back, and it's a lot of money, 7%. But if you know how to do it, you manage it, you pay, and you claim. So 7% you pay and you claim, still zero. So it's still zero. Now let me show you a real case in a market. Okay. It's a real one. Why I say it's real? Because newspaper, not my story. It's newspaper story. Buyer must pay GST for $3.8 million. Okay, now what happens is this. This buyer bought this property. Right? When the seller said, he must pay me GST, buyer said, no, I'm not going to pay. Hey, buyer, if you don't pay, I'm going to sue you. No. Seller, you don't be so fierce. You sue me, I fight one. No. And I tell you, the buyer paid legal costs to sue. I mean, the buyers paid the legal costs to... Seller really sue him for not paying. The buyer paid legal costs to defend himself in court for 1 year. They fight in court for 1 year. Now, let's be fair to the seller. When the seller collects GST, the seller keep. Seller pay to who? It's Akong's money, right? I always say the money belongs to grandfather. And you buyer want to fight over grandfather's money, how to win? Sure, grandfather win one, correct or not? Right, so he fought in court, no. And I tell you, 1 year later, I know what happened? The court say, hey, buyer, please pay your GST to grandfather. So buyers still end up must pay the 7% to grandfather. And now there's a big problem. GST is not your money, it's grandfather's money, Akong's money. So to claim back your GST at the point of purchase, you must have done all the procedure. But the thing is, when he buy 1 year ago, he didn't do anything. He thought, don't pay, fight. Now he's ordered by the court to pay. He still must pay because court order say he must pay. Now he must pay, but very likely cannot claim back. Because claiming GST for property is not your money, it's Akong's money. He didn't do anything 1 year ago when he buy. He didn't do anything. Now, 1 year later, he's asked to pay. You go back and claim, it may be too late. Class, he's still got to pay the almost 280,000, 7%, but now he probably will lose it. That is one of the pitfalls you must look out for. And there are many other pitfalls, which I'll introduce you in my longer version of my workshop, because I have to save time for other things. Okay? But I'll do more in my longer version. Now, class. So please, I suggest this. Before you even invest your first commercial industrial, please learn about all this. Right? Please learn about all this. Now, okay. Before I end today's presentation, I'd like to invite you to my free 3.5 hours intensive workshop on be a savvy investor, invest in commercial industrial property. This is for investors. If you're investors, take out your phone now. Okay? Now, come to this free workshop, 3.5 hours. Don't worry if you're a practitioner, if you're an agent, don't worry, I'm going to give you another date. Okay. Now, this 3.5 hours intensive workshop for investors, I have 2 dates coming up, right? 2 days coming up, okay? First date, 29 April, 7 to 10:45. Second date, 5th May, 7 to 10:45. Now, the 2 code is here. If you pick the 29 April, is ST29. You pick the 5th of May, ST05. What do? You take out your handphone, you text the code that you want. Both sessions are the same, just come for one. Key in the code, give me your name and email, and send to this number now, 923852229. I will reserve a seat for you in that workshop. Now, sometimes it's full, so I need to reserve a seat for you. When you register, not only I reserve a seat for you, I will also send you a reminder, right? So take out your handphone now and send it to me, so I will actually hold it for you. Now, in your goodie bag, there's also this brochure that is about my workshop, and behind, these are the dates available, which is the same date here, okay? Now, send me the code that you want, the name, and the email. I'll reserve a seat for you. Now, this is for investor. Now, for agents, if you are practitioners, if you are real estate agents, don't worry, I have another workshop for you, okay, which I don't just teach you how to invest, I will share with you how you can market, okay, your commercial industrial property. It's a free 4 hours intensive workshop for real estate agent, how to be a top producer through commercial industrial sales. Now, if you are practitioner or agents, now there are also 2 dates for you, 30th April, 2 to 6 p.m., 6th May, 2 to 6 p.m. There are 2 codes here. If you choose 30th April, you send ST30 to me. If you choose 6th of May, ST06. You send the code, your name and email to the same number, 92385229. I will reserve a seat for you, and also I will send you a reminder before that day. Now, this again, if you're a practitioner, I also have a brochure in your goodie bag, which is this one. This one. Okay, real estate agent. The dates are also behind, right? You can just send me your text, and I'll reserve a seat for you. Okay. Now, class. Because today, I'm quite sure you learned so much from so many speakers. I learned a lot just now, okay, from Mr. Ho and other speakers. Now, so because of this thing, we can only speak for half an hour because we have so much thing to share. So many people are sharing so much thing. So if you want to learn more about commercial industrial, I will see you in the upcoming, my so-called full-length free workshop for you, right? With this class, a very big thank you for all of you. Thank you so much. Thanks.